Welcome to another episode of Connect with VP Hecht. Today I have two special guests. I'm here with Chad Mathews, the director of FSU's Flying High Circus, and Kaitlyn Givens, our Circus Club President. So let's get started. So tell me, what is the FSU Flying High Circus?
FSU Circus is something somewhat unique to FSU. It's a working circus, like we like to call it, that is comprised primarily of FSU students. And we train, develop these acts with usually about 100 students or so, and to get to this end point of a performance in spring. Generally is how we construct it. But yeah, we're a working circus made up of college students.
Okay. So when did the circus open and how long has it been on campus?
Circus started in 1947 when Florida State College for Women became coeducational. And they, by design, wanted to create these activities for men and women. And they brought in a gentleman by the name of Jack Haskin to create this coeducational activity, which was a circus. So they planned it in 1947 is when it started.
Wow. And I think I've seen photos. They used to perform at halftime.
They did.
A long time ago.
They did. Before they went under a big top, they've been under a big top in like the 60s. Prior to that, they performed in the football stadium. And they did halftime shows, and I think their big spring shows were there as well.
So what makes the circus so unique and special?
Well, there's only 2 collegiate circuses in the country, so already by default it's kind of unique in its own thing, but the community is kind of a big thing for the circus. And I mean, we have a cast of 100 people. It's a lot of brand new friends that you get to meet every year, and so it's really exciting, and just the trust you have in the people, because they're rigging all your equipment, they're setting up your stuff. And
yes, attention to detail is important. So as you start planning your show, what should people expect? Because for our audience, we have been without our big top for a year, and our first show starts in October, our first show back. Yes. So what should everyone expect?
What should people expect? That's a good question. Well, so I would say that obviously we're restarting everything. So we obviously have pretty high standards with our performances, and I wouldn't alter those expectations at all for these particular shows. But it'll be new. There's new cast members and things like that. But for the Halloween series, like, it'll be pretty close to what we've done in the past, I think. We're kind of figuring that out now, actually. We're in the audition process currently, so we're kind of figuring out what our cast looks like. That'll determine like what acts we have. But ultimately, it's going to be a fun show, a fun, fast-moving show with students who do things that maybe you wouldn't expect students to do, like fly through the air.
Now, there is a rumor that you get class credit for being in the circus and practicing. Is that true?
I've heard that rumor before.
Yes.
So that is not entirely untrue. We did offer a class at one point. We're not doing it currently, but there was a time we offered like a PE credit class. Okay. There's never been a major or anything like that, much to my chagrin, because as a student, that probably would have been a better major for me. However, no, currently we don't offer any class credit for it, so it's all volunteer. All our students just do it
just for fun.
Stole my line.
Just for fun. Okay, so Kaitlyn, what is a day in the life of one of our circus cast members? What does it look like? How much do you practice?
So it's pretty similar to the normal student. I mean, I still go to classes, have my normal school schedule. We practice usually around 3 times a week for 30 minutes. That depending on the act. So it's nothing too crazy. It gets heavier during the show seasons, obviously, with rehearsals and shows, but pretty normal schedule compared to normal students.
So when you decided, and you are a legacy circus, your mom and dad were in the circus, which is pretty amazing. I think they performed with our director, Chad.
I do know her parents.
Yes. So, which is pretty amazing that we have generations coming back, and our circus alum are very connected. You might have had some insight into the skills and training you needed to make a tryout. What are those?
So actually, I had no experience really going into it. I had no dance background, gymnastics, none of it. I just kind of came in because I was like, my parents did this, I want to do it. So that's what we share though too during auditions, is there's no experience necessary to try out.
What did you do at tryouts? What is a tryout comprised of?
So our audition process is a 2-part process. Our first part is like physical and flexibility. So we do stuff like pull-ups, leg lifts, push-ups, stuff like that, and then flexibility stuff, splits and your pikes and all that. And then the second part is more like trampoline and balancing based stuff. But yeah, no experience necessary. You don't have to be able to do a pull-up to get in.
Okay, well that's good. Good for me at least. Now, how many try out versus how many make the team?
So this year we're just going through this process, so it's good. Usually we have different opportunities in the circus. We have the performing, the on-stage component, we have the off-stage opportunities as well. So we have signups for all of that. In total, like all signups, we usually exceed 300 people that sign up to be participating in some fashion. For like circus act, we have like circus act general auditions that comprises most of our audition time. This year we had 200 people sign up for those. We'll cast about a little less than 100, and then we'll have dance and ringmasters that are specialty auditions. So all in all, we probably had close to 250 people audition for like on-stage pieces, and out of that, there'll be about 100 people.
Very competitive then.
So yeah, a little bit.
So both of you have been performers. What is your favorite memory or behind-the-scenes story that you could share about the circus?
That we can share.
Yes.
Do you want to start?
The first one that's popping into my head is...
Yours is more recent.
Yeah. I think it was during a Halloween show. So this was live performance. People are in the crowds. And I was skating and I looked down and there was a cockroach right by my foot. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I had to stay calm and smile and go do my trick.
You didn't try to roll it over?
No.
No, you
because
let it...
then it would be on my skate.
Oh, good point. Yeah. See, you're clearly a professional. I wouldn't have thought of it. Yep.
And I think you saw it from the tech.
We definitely were talking about the roach, and we're like, is she going to get it? Is she going to get it? Didn't get it.
Yeah.
It was Halloween, though, so it works.
It was real.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it was a prop.
We try to add some
Live
ambiance.
animals.
That's the only animals in our show, is the cockroach. My favorite, goodness, so many memories. For the performances piece, I wouldn't say it's my favorite piece. It's just kind of funny in retrospect. We used to do, our performance looked a little different back in the before times when her parents and myself were in. I did low casting, which was like a comedy act, and we didn't have constraints when it came to time or act and things. So I went perhaps a little long, just kind of improvising as I went. And so our director got really mad at me, and he walked out on stage to furiously signal to like, this means it's tied off. My next trick in the act was to swing around the pole. So I thought
He wanted you to do.
I didn't put it together. He was wanting to cut me off. I just went on. It kept going and going. But I did swing down the pole, but I didn't stop. So I got a talking to after that. But
He didn't have a big hook.
if he did, he would have used it. Yeah, he would have extracted me from the stage had he had the opportunity. But yeah, there's so many though that.
And now you get to deal with students who may or may not do that to you.
Correct, and I do appreciate. That's probably why it's a favorite story of mine, because I do appreciate what he was doing at the time. Because now at the time I didn't get it. Now I'm like, oh, it made me so mad.
Now you can just turn our lights off.
The lights would go off, yeah, for sure.
You have other mechanisms now. So for our students or even community members watching, how can they get tickets to the circus? So
the tickets are, we can go through our website. We sell tickets through the Fine Arts Ticket Office. Links are available on our website, circus.fsu.edu. They are available at the door as too. We have a box office that opens before the show. However, particularly our Halloween shows, we sell tickets pretty quickly. Yeah. We do hold tickets for students that they can get right before the show. That's how, with their ID. But for the general public, buying them beforehand is a good bet. But students, for the most part, can get there early and show up. Correct, yes. Okay, how early? How early? The box office opens generally an hour and a half-ish before the show. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the line forms before that. Okay. So we generally block around 300 to 400 seats per show for students alone, but those do run out.
So they should get there early if they want to come, or buy their ticket in advance.
They can buy a ticket.
They can, but they could also get it for free if they show up early.
Also true, yes.
So I understand, and I kind of referenced it when we talked about your parents being connected, that our FSU alumni who've been in the circus are incredibly committed. How do they stay connected? What is that community like?
So we have our alumni show during home shows. It's the last show, and all the alumni come in from all over. It is the craziest show you'll ever go to.
And you let the alumni
So loud.
perform?
No.
No, okay. Oh, okay.
But they're so loud. The energy is just off the walls. It's the best.
Oh, that's incredible. And what is the network like? How many circus alumni, roughly, would you say are out there?
In our list, we have around 1,500 alumni, and they're all very passionate. Even if they don't come to every show and whatnot, we constantly have alumni drop by just to pop in and say hi and things like that. And it's really funny, the connection they have, alumni, even though they may be separated by decades with current students, they can still kind of talk about the same things. The experiences are very similar, so it's always interesting to see those kind of connections around those kind of spring shows when they come back, because they're all kind of sharing a very similar type of experience, and those you get to know alumni that those relationships carry on as well. It's really neat.
And I know they were essential when we lost the tent during the tornado.
Absolutely.
And you really saw the power of that community coming together
Absolutely.
to make sure that the circus returned bigger and better.
Yes, they were mobilized, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Yes. So if a student auditions and there's only about 100 performers, what happens if they don't make a performing spot? Can they still be involved in the circus?
There are other opportunities. We have a pretty big sign-up window for the on-stage opportunities. We also at the same time have the backstage opportunities as well. That's actually what Kaitlyn did as well.
Yeah.
So we have backstage production opportunities, creative and technical. So we have people who help with maybe costumes, hair and makeup, and we also have those who work with the lighting and audio and the kind of backstage pieces too. Those are limited as well because we can't really accommodate everybody, but so we have a lot of interest in those positions. So, but that's another way that people can become involved without being on stage. Because not everybody wants to be on stage necessarily. Either wants to participate.
But they want to be a part of the community and help. So there's still a way to get your foot in the door. Maybe someday perform like Kaitlyn did, but really kind of operate a major entertainment venue, which is great experience as well.
Absolutely.
Now, I understand you might have some questions for me.
We do.
Okay.
Shall you start?
Okay.
This is different. We've never done this, just so you know.
Okay, so in the human jump rope, would you rather be the jump rope, the jumper, or the swinger?
The jump rope.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us as you. Would you rather perform in the center ring or work backstage?
Depends on what I would be doing in the center ring. So maybe backstage.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off topic from this, but what would you want to do in center ring?
Oh, the trapeze.
Yeah?
I feel like I could do it, although I might get up there and chicken out. But as Chad has told me, there's only one way down.
Yeah. Once you're up there.
So if I can climb myself all the way up there, then I'll have to do it, you know?
Absolutely.
It's easier to go down anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
Climbing down the ladder is kind of hard.
Yeah. Would you rather attend the Halloween show or the home show?
Ooh. Okay, I've gone to a lot of Halloween shows and I love it because you get the costumes. But the last senior show is always really special because you can see they've really practiced all year. So I'd have to say the last home show.
Would you rather juggle clubs during a halftime at Doak Campbell or perform on the trapeze at a graduation?
I cannot juggle, so I'm gonna have to perform on the trapeze.
You're gonna have to.
I'm gonna have to because you were very nice and gave me some juggling tools, and it did not go well. It did not go
Fair
well.
enough.
People were ducking, so.
And the most important question, popcorn or snow cone?
Oh, popcorn.
Okay.
Popcorn for sure.
All right, you passed.
Well, at the closing of every show, we do have Ask Amy, where our viewers will write in some questions. And so, first one, why was the circus started? you did talk about that, but whose idea was it to start a circus?
It was actually, as I've understood this to be the case, the athletic director, Howard Danford, my history may not be great, but he had the idea because he knew Jack Haskin from before he was at Florida State, perhaps.
Okay.
Because Jack came from like the Midwest, so he brought him in to do that specifically, but it was his idea.
Something for men and women to do together, not doubles tennis, but a circus.
Very unique idea.
Yes.
Sure.
Even back then, I can imagine folks, very interesting, we all bought into it. Does the circus perform shows? And if so, how many per year? Which we kind of hinted at, but when and what months?
We have 2 main show series, our Halloween shows that are coming up in October, and our home shows, which are our big ones in April.
In April. Yeah. So the dates are online, but I know 3 weekends in October.
2 weekends in October, 3 in
October,
April.
and 3 in April. Okay. And we talked about how early students need to arrive to get a student ticket, so an hour and a half beforehand. And another rumor I heard is that once upon a time, the circus traveled abroad to perform, I think in Italy, maybe elsewhere. Is that true? Tell me about that, and what was the result of that international trip?
Sure, that was the mid-'60s. It's a kind of legendary in like the history of our program. The circus at that time was nearly 20 years old, and they were doing some really big skills, and it got a lot of notoriety. They were on TV a lot, and they actually got sponsored. I think it was CBS. Could be wrong on that one, but they were sponsored to go to Europe and do a European tour. I know they went to Italy, they went to Greece, maybe France as well. It was credited with like actually kind of getting the start of the FSU International program too, in Florence, I believe. Obviously, along with just the circus people, a lot of like FSU admin went with them. So they got a lot of connections, and it was a kind of an ambassadorship almost for us.
I heard that as well. I heard there was an administrator there that said, "This is beautiful, we should have a campus," and that launched international programs with their first study center in Florence, and now we know they're spread out, so it's amazing. All right, well, thank you for joining us. That is it for this edition of Connect with VP Hecht. I hope you'll continue to follow us along and let us know what you'd like to hear about next.